One of Europe's biggest energy companies, Equinor, has warned that the challenge of meeting the core Paris Climate Agreement objective is bigger than ever. In the company's Energy Perspectives report, its chief economist argues that while energy security has been prioritized in recent years, the energy transition has become more fragmented as well. Our world business reporter David Waddell spoke to the chief economist Eirik Wærness and began by asking him what he meant by that fragmentation.
The geopolitical issues that drive our different concerns, whether it's affordability, security of supply, or the interests of decarbonization, they pull us in different directions. And to some extent, the energy transition can be sped up, for instance, in Europe, whereas arguments for security of supply also pull in the same direction as the arguments for decarbonization, namely investing in homegrown renewables to avoid depending on the Middle East for oil or Russia for gas. While in the other parts of the world, security of supply concerns can then lead to using more oil and gas, especially if you can get it at a rebate because nobody else buys it, relative to then continuing to invest in renewables.
Your company, Equinor, says it's one of the world's most carbon efficient producers of oil, but each barrel of oil produces near half a ton of carbon emissions. And as of the first quarter of this year, your output has jumped to over 1 million barrels a day. So my question is this: how credible are your calls for the rest of the industry to move faster in the energy transition?
What is crucially important is to understand that on the production side, on the supply side, there are emissions associated with us getting oil and gas out of the ground. We use energy to do that. We are among the most carbon efficient in doing that, with the most energy efficient producers. We're also in the process of electrifying that type of energy use from onshore renewable electricity, meaning that we'll eliminate the emissions on the upstream side. But oil and gas emits a lot of carbon, and much more carbon, CO2, when we burn it. And that's you and me as consumers. And we have to do everything we can to make it possible for us to get carbon-free alternatives when we drive ourselves to work, when we heat our homes, when we use our lights. But that is a massive challenge, which has to do with carbon pricing, incentives, investing in the alternatives. Renewable electricity cannot replace the use of coal, oil, and gas in all our energy uses globally for many, many years.